Hi, I'm Loraine Lacey. I'm a commercial insurance broker with Freeman Pearce Insurance Agency, and I'm also currently president of the independent agents and brokers in our territory. Today we're going to talk about the very important topic, how do you save money on workers' comp? First of all, we're going to talk about how you develop a premium on the basic workers' comp policy. Every job in the state has a classification. That classification also has a premium rate attached to it. That's called the basic policy. However, there are ways that you can save money on that basic policy. So, saving tip number 1. You are probably eligible for 1 or 2 very sizable credits on your workers' comp basic policy. The biggest credit that you will be able to get on a workers' comp policy has to do with experience modification, or otherwise known as X-mod in the insurance language. This X modification has to do with how many claims you might have had on your policy as compared to other people in the same form of business that you have. If you have had good claims report, then you would have possibly a credit X mod. If you have had a lot of claims, you probably have a debit X mod. Saving tip number 2. Safety programs have a lot to do with whether you're going to have a good experience modification or a bad experience modification. We're going to show you in a few steps what processes you can take, because at this point in time you may think, well, I'm doing really good things at my business and I've got a safe environment, but I still want to save money on workers' comp. So I'm going to show you a step-by-step plan that you can put into operation. Step number 1, get a safety committee in your office. Step 2, have safety meetings on a regular basis. OSHA requires every quarter if you have 10 or more employees. But we recommend that you meet at least once a month because you have a lot of things to consider. For example, teaching the employees how to lift properly, how to carry things properly, how to use the forklift. There's so many subjects that need to be discussed. Number 3 is a really important one, and that is to put together a first aid program in your office. Did you know that you as an employer can legally pay the bill if the injured employee goes to the doctor or the clinic? You can pay the bill and not have it turned in as a claim. However, it has to be a legitimate first aid claim. Step number 4, develop a return to work program. This is a very important way to keep your costs down on a claim. For example, if you have an employee that has been injured, but he could come back to modified duty, if you develop a program where he could come back, you're going to find that he heals much faster, and it would also in many cases has saved expensive litigation. Step number 5, get those old claims closed. I cannot tell you how important that is to your experience modification. Many insurance companies let a claim stay open 2, 3 years and there's not even any activity on it. But it's up to you, the employer, to call the insurance company, the claims division, ask what's going on with that claim, and stay on them, even if it's once a week, to get that claim closed. And now I'd like to share with you saving tip number 3. Monitor your employees' classifications on a regular, ongoing basis. You would be surprised how many times employers are paying way too much insurance because they haven't changed classifications and you're in a more expensive classification than what the employee is actually doing. Saving tip number 4, review every single annual workers' comp audit. You cannot believe the mistakes that are found. It has been noted that at least 80% of all audits are wrong and have many mistakes on them, and in most cases those mistakes cost the insured an additional audit premium. Smaller companies may not qualify for the experience modification, but if you follow the steps outlined here to set up a safety program, you will be deserving of that extra special credit, claims-free credit on that basic policy. And owners of companies, managers, be proactive in getting this program put together. You need to be involved. If you're involved, your employees will follow suit. You will have a safe environment if you follow these steps. I'm Loraine Lacey. I'm happy to see that you were watching this video and that you're going to save money on your workers' comp.